D-Day was 3 weeks ago, and while not a typical story, still devastated. Part 1. My wife and I have been through hell and back in the 10 years we were together before marriage, and that was what made me choose her as a partner and propose in 2020. We had the best year of our lives in 2022, amazing wedding, reconnecting honeymoon. I'd really put work into our relationship and it was showing. Plus promotions and work success as we geared up for kids, unsuccessful but we're actively trying, and house buying planning. We were flying pretty high by the end of 2022. But apparently for different reasons. We became super close friends in 2019 with a couple that we'd been sort of peripheral friends with for several years before that. The dude was from my wife's work and we were extremely close with them and their kids. Once his wife became pregnant with a surprise kid over COVID, my wife and him became really close. Texting all the time, more touchy-feely than I liked, though our community is very touch-positive, so this actually bothered me the least, and hanging out on their own, her being overly concerned with his well-being when we were on trips together, etc. To my knowledge, my wife has never had an affair and we'd been explicit in our monogamy over our 13 years together, always trusted her and we were doing so well. I walked in on them about to fuck at a party after everyone else had gone to sleep. Everyone was sober at this point in the night and she'd insisted we stay over. She left our spare room bed and planned to meet him downstairs as we'd stayed over at their house, with his infant and wife upstairs. I left, kicked her out immediately and forced a 72H hold on communication because I was worried I'd do something terrible. AP told OBS I was going to tell her but he beat me to it, and she did the same to him. Later that week, found out from OBS that she'd subsequently learned this has been going on for 1.5 years, long before we got married. Multiple instances of, apparently no sex, but I think it's trickle truth, hooking up that made it clear this was way more than just friendship that made a mistake. He's one of my closest friends, on top of it all, and apparently justified to his wife that since I had told him I was happy my wife had a close friendship that was implied consent for an affair. Insane. I'm beyond devastated. It's been a couple weeks now and I'm all the things you guys have felt. I kicked her out. Weeks of drinking, crying, smashing our shit, and lots of therapy. Very thankful I've curated a truly amazing community of friends for support as well. For what it's worth, she seems genuine, remorseful, took full responsibility, for the damage/harm this has caused, didn't gaslight me, and has been honest with our friends and hates herself for what she's done. But the fact this went on for so long, it's not like she admitted it, I had to be traumatized by catching them, makes me feel like it's crocodile tears. After endless soul searching and feeling like I need to make a decision, I'm going to tell her I want a separation and that she needs to move out for the foreseeable future. I don't see a way we get through this, but I know that she needs to face her own demons, and it's been hard to admit this has nothing to do with me, or even us. She has work to do on herself, and I can't be here for it. Maybe one day something will rise from the ashes, but our relationship is destroyed. I don't see her as a partner anymore. 3 weeks ago we were trying to have kids. Insanity. I don't know what I'm asking. Still in shock and can't really think about reconciliation. I'm so exhausted right now, I just feel like I need to protect what sanity I have left and focus on finding some moments of joy for myself. Update. I did things a bit differently than you all. I kicked her out right away. I arranged a meeting in neutral space after a 4-day cool-down period. Raged at her, didn't really give her a chance to talk. Then went no contact for another 3 weeks. After getting more gory details about their affair from the OBS, that they'd slept together for years prior, I scheduled a meeting with her and read her a letter essentially formalizing separation and logistics of it. Said I hope she does the work to fix herself because it's too late for our marriage. I didn't pull punches, but felt like I was spiraling without letting this out on her, and despite general advice to be totally NC, I think we are both better for it. She's done pretty much everything right so far, I'll give her that much. Cut off, and friends have confirmed the affair. Not drinking, doing IC. She's an absolute wreck. Apologizing and disgusted with herself. I don't think she understands what she's really done to me, but she is very ashamed and cannot admit our 14-year relationship is over. Fully prioritizing my needs, taking responsibility, and owning up to it. Not that I can see getting through this with her or taking her back. Betrayal this deep is beyond the pale. Don't get me wrong, I don't trust her, though I do hope someday we can be amicable, but I'm just trying to set the stage. Because that's not really what this thread is about. It's about me, not her. We had everything. Money, great jobs, our relationship was amazing, active sex life, great travel partners, trying to have kids the last couple months, which she desperately wanted, looking to buy our first house, great community we nurtured. We certainly had conflict/struggle, but years of work, relationships are work, anyone who tells you different is a dipshit, had made our communication pretty solid. That's the real killer part here. She even admits it had nothing to do with us, and independently agrees we were doing better than ever. Just that she was personally depressed and sought out validation in the hands of someone who gave her a ton of attention, and got it in the most destructive and toxic way possible to me and us. I am still angry, don't get me wrong. But more so just, so unbelievably sad, and in 100x the worst pain of my life. I mean that honestly. It's the grief and despair that's killing me, the loss of what we had. I think we've charted a pretty drama-free course for divorce/separation, despite the turmoil, but that's not even the point other than reducing my stress. It's the loss of a partnership. It feels like she's dead. I see her and it's just a ghost. It doesn't even matter that she's apologizing or what she's saying. There's been some hiccups and I've slipped up, handling of shared assets, friends getting roped into drama and rightfully getting pissed, but she's respected my wishes so far and took those incidents on the chin. But I just can't get past the senseless loss of my partner, my team, that I've clearly taken for granted so long. And that it was actually gone ages ago and I didn't even know it. It's like I watched the love of my life walk out in front of a bus on purpose, and afterwards I learned she was secretly an axe murderer. I cannot wish this pain on anyone. It's unimaginable. Somehow, it's worse to me because our relationship was so great. It's like the loss is just that much bigger. This was my absolute 100% teammate I did everything with, trusted with my life, been through unbelievable hardship in our 20s and early 30s, and just came off the best year of our lives, wedding, honeymoon, job success in competitive areas. It's the grief of losing that partnership, losing the partner, and losing the life I was full throttle towards. That the life I had is torn out from my grasp and now I can barely get out of bed or eat. I'm attractive, tall, fit and career accomplished with great friends and hobbies. I have my flaws, but I am no stranger to female attention, but that has become increasingly irrelevant to me the past 3 to 4 years, and is why I proposed in the first place. I wanted a co-pilot, not Tinder dates. She'd proven over a decade together that she was that person in spades. I have support, a therapist and a community of friends that are showing up for me big time. But I've been through some pretty serious family trauma, and it doesn't even hold a candle to this pain and sense of loss. I know it's only been a month, but does this mountain of grief on my shoulders ever get any lighter? It just seems to get progressively harder instead. I feel like I'm drowning.